Happy evening all. Happy evening sir. Myself Pratik Ghanshyamji Thomre, and today I have got a very golden opportunity to discuss something about OSI model. So my presentation topic is same OSI model. So today we are going to learn how the sender sends data and receiver receives data. So you maybe say that I know that how to send data and how the receiver can receive it. But today we are going to learn something inside what the PC do when we send any data. So this is a OSI model, open system interconnection. OSI model was built by ISO. So because first we were using TCP IP model, but now we are using OSI model, which is compatible for different devices to send their data, or we can say they share their data between each other. So OSI model has 7 layers through which the data gets processed and sent. So first layer is physical layer, second data link, third network, fourth transport, fifth session presentation, and that last but not least application layer. So now we will see how the data is sent. As you can see that I have made OSI model in both sides. So you've got an idea that this is of sender side and this is of receiver side. Okay, so OSI model works on both sender and receiver, because the data processing which is done in sender side should be re-engineered in receiver side. So first we'll see that first is application layer. Application layer means the application in which we are going to make our data. Like if you are making any document, then we use MS Word. If you are making sheet, then we use Excel. If you are making any HTML file, then we can use any text editor, but the extension will be .html. So okay, so it differs. So we need some application to create our any type of data. So application layer means our application in which we will create the data. And one thing I'll like to tell you, that application layer is a direct interface between user and our machine. Means we directly work on, means this application layer directly interacts with user. Okay, now here we have created one message. Okay, this is sender A and this is receiver B. So we have created one message, we have written one letter. Okay, so now this letter, as we send, it goes to the presentation layer and checks what extension is given to this particular letter. So we can consider that this letter is written in .txt file. So the presentation layer will detect that this file is of txt extension. Okay, so now that data will be forwarded to session layer. Now the data which we want to send to someone, means to our receiver, this one session is being created between the receiver A and the sender A and the receiver B. So as the session created, the A machines get to know that yes, the B machine exists, so this session is created between them. Now this our file, which is .txt file, which is our letter, it is sent to the transport layer. Now what the transport layer do? Transport layer makes the chunks of data. If you can see that this is our letter, then what the transport layer do, that it makes the chunks, it divide that data into multiple pieces and number those pieces. Like this piece, it has number 1, this is of number 2, so that when in the receiver side the data will be collected and joined, it should have a particular number, that by sequence it will get joined, 1 then 2 then 3. This is how the transport layer gives numbering to the chunks, and after that the data is sent to the network layer. Now what network layer do? Network layer prints the IP address, means we can say that prints the IP address on a particular single chunks, the IP address of sender and receiver, so that that packet should go particular to user B. It should not go anywhere different. Okay, so the IP is get bind on a chunk, and that chunk now is called as packet. Okay, now our chunk is converted into packet as the IP address of sender and receiver is printed on it. After that, the data is sent to the data link layer. Now what the data link layer do? Data link prints the MAC address of the receiver and sender on our packet. Okay, so now our our packet which is made, it contains the IP or data firstly, which is divided. Second thing, the IP address of sender and receiver, and MAC address of sender and receiver. Now our packet is ready to go. Now this packet is sent to the data link layer, and this packet is sent through the physical, from this data link layer it's sent to the physical layer, and our physical layer make the data travel to the receiver side physical layer. Okay, so now the data in receiver side, now it's there in physical layer. Now the data is sent to the data link layer. Now as it comes to the data link layer, it checks that the packet which is received here has the same MAC address which our machine has. If there is the MAC address didn't match, then data link layer will discard that message that no, this message is not for us. And if it is matched, then it send it to network layer. Now here the IP address is checked, because MAC address will be same for a PC, but if you have any different operating system in any in our VMware, so MAC address will same but IP will be different. So now it will check that this IP is mine, or if it is, or if the IP is of our VMware machine, then this data packet will be sent to it. Okay, now we will consider that IP is matched, so it means that this package is of R, then it is sent to the transport layer. Now transport layer will collect the multiple packets according to its numbering and will join the data. Now collectively all packets make up our letter, or particular one letter in single file. Now the data chunks has joined and our letter is came here. Now this letter goes to the presentation layer and it is checked that which extension it has. If it had txt or docx or xls, so as we have considered that our letter has .txt file, so the presentation layer will instruct our PC that this is txt file, and txt file is by default the notepad is set for the opening of txt file. So this is txt file, and now this extension is an extension and file is sent to the application layer. Application layer detects that yes, we have to open notepad to view this file. Notepad is opened and that file gets opened. Now the receiver B can read that letter. This is how the data transaction between one system to another system is done. Now the sender, the receiver B, will now reply for that letter yes or no.
Yes.
You understand? No, I'm not asking that.
No, sir.
Now he will reply the letter yes or no. So now this will be the sender and that will be the receiver, and same process repeats again. How much time the data will be sent means we can say send and receive. This process will work here. This is how the OSI model works, and this is how our whole networking system works. Thank you. That was all from my side.